Hello, welcome to my live weekly marriage coaching call. This is Certified Master Life Coach Tina Heisman. I'm so glad you could join me today. Before we get started, I want to let you know that I have a free, private, Happy Wives community on Facebook where you can come to get inspiration for your marriage. Visit facebook.com and then search The Happy Wives Community. Or you could just head over to my website, tinaheisman.com, and there is a big banner at the bottom of the front page. You can just click on that, and it will take you right there. Also on my website, I have created a free download called the Marriage Makeover Guide. It's a guide to help you make over your marriage into a happier, more joyful, and peaceful place. So you can just visit my website to download it. Okay, let's dive in. The topic for today's call is how to make your marriage feel new in 2018. I'm going to share some information with you, and then I will open up the line at the end for questions and answers. So I just thought that we would take advantage of a fresh new start to the year, being a fresh new start to our marriages. The feeling of renewal is in the air and change, and everyone is renewed with hope and excitement for the year ahead for maybe your health or your career. So why not your marriage too? But how do we do that? How do we start? Well, today I would like to give you a simple 3-step process that I'll walk you through. It's very simple. We're going to set an intention. We're going to discover some gratitude, and then we're going to implement some action. And I'm not going to be telling you what to do. You get to do that, because I know that none of us like to be told what to do. I'm just going to teach you the technique, and then you can come up with the way that you want your marriage to feel in 2018. But I think it's important that we do spend some time thinking about what we want, being intentional about it. So that's what we're going to do today. So if you don't mind, grab a pen and paper for this call today. I think that it will help you maybe make a couple of notes, because you might want to go back and work longer on this than we'll have time for in the call today. So if you can have a pen and paper that you can make some notes on. We're going to start with talking about our perspective. And the way that I like to start is by asking my marriage clients, what do you want? You know, they come to me and they tell me maybe some problems and what's going on. And so then we say, okay, what do you want in your marriage? What do you want to feel like? Do you want it to feel peaceful or fun or honest or romantic or connected or adventurous? I'd like you to take a moment and answer that question for yourself. How do I want my marriage to feel? I gave you a few examples of words, but perhaps you can come up with some ideas of your own for how you want your marriage to feel. And then think about, why do I want my marriage to feel this way? That will help give you some drive and motivation for it. So we're going to keep moving on with our process, but you can work more on this after the call. But you know that step 1 is setting your intention for how you want your marriage to feel. Do you see how easy that is? It's so easy. You're like, oh, easy. I want it to feel connected or adventurous. So once you've got that intention set for how you want your marriage to feel, we move on to the second step, which is gratitude for what we have right now. Because no matter what is going on in our marriage, there is always room for gratitude. Gratitude is vital to every marriage. Gratitude helps us focus on what is good and right instead of what is wrong and annoying. I mean, we all know, ladies, right? When you live with someone, it is very easy to spot their little annoying habits, and it is very easy to focus on them. But we can choose differently. We can choose to focus on what we have to be grateful for. I'd like to encourage you with one of my most favorite verses from the Bible, Philippians 4:8. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about these things. This is motivation for our life. In life, as in our marriage, we have the ability to choose to think about everything that is wonderful, to choose to think positive. Let's be intentional about looking for what our husbands do right. They do a lot of things right, but often we are stuck seeing what they do wrong. Let's think about what we can be grateful for in our marriages today. And even if your marriage isn't fantastic right now, there are still things I bet you can find that make you grateful. So let's look at some examples, okay? This one could be back to basics. You could be grateful that you're married at all, right? We could be grateful for that. We could be grateful that our husband loves us. We could be grateful that our husband is a provider. We could be grateful that our husband goes to work every day to take care of our family. We could be grateful that our husband is a family man. We could be grateful that he helped us with something with the kids recently. We could be grateful that we had a nice date night last weekend. And we could be grateful that he doesn't complain a lot. Take a moment now and jot down a few things that you can be grateful for. I'd have you shoot for at least 5. Try to find at least 5 things that you can be grateful for today in your marriage. And this is something that you can come back to after the call as well. So that was step 2, and that was focusing on your gratitude. Step 3 is action. I am a believer that if we want something to change in our lives, we need to take action to make those changes happen. I'm also of the belief that we must focus on making positive changes in ourselves, not others. If we change our attitude and behavior, we will invite our husbands, though, into a changed attitude and behavior as well. And I'm here to tell you it feels really magical when it starts happening. And I wanted to share with you a testimonial from one of my clients who put this practice into action. She said, after 24 years, I knew that I didn't want to leave, but I wasn't sure I wanted to stay. With Tina's coaching and guidance, I learned to look at my husband differently than I always had. I learned how to take care of myself first and keep my eyes on my own paper, and that it was okay for my husband and I to have different answers. We're a stronger team now, and the best part is that he doesn't know why or how, just that it happened. I just love that testimonial. And the reason she's saying her husband doesn't even know what happened, he doesn't even know what hit him, because she worked with me one-on-one and worked on changing her intention for her marriage and her gratitude for what is going on in her marriage currently, and then started taking action to make her marriage what she wanted to be and to take care of herself too. And I want you guys to have that in your marriage. And so that's where the action comes in. We need to choose action that we can take that will help us feel how we want to feel in our marriage. And so remember, in step 1, you set your intention for how you want it to feel. To give you an example, I'm going to pick the example of connected. Let's pretend that you said you want to feel more connected in your marriage. So what are some things that you can do to feel more connected? So this is like a little brainstorming session. And you have your pen and paper so you can write down ideas for yourself and your own marriage. And I'm going to throw out some ideas just to help get you going if you need that help. But after the call, sit down and take some more time and find some other ideas that might work best for you. So just some ideas. If you want to feel more connected to your husband, doing something out of the norm, like maybe tomorrow morning you make him breakfast, or maybe you give him a call today while he's at work just to say hello. No business of the family or no to-do list for him, just to say hello. Or maybe you could text him a thank you note for something that you're grateful for. Or better yet, you could do actually what I did this morning, and I put a love note in my husband's briefcase just to let him know I appreciated everything that he does for us. Or maybe you could offer to give your husband a back rub tonight after the kids go to bed, or plan a date for sometime in the next week. Actually, I took the time to do that this morning too because our calendar is really busy, and we both have been talking about wanting massages. So I booked it for like this weekend, get it on the calendar, get it booked ahead of time. So that's something to look forward to for both of us. It's good for both of us. And it will be good in your marriage too if you plan something that you'll look forward to. So those are some ideas for you on things you might do to try to be more connected in your marriage. So I think you get the idea of that. But you continue to work on this after our call today. Come up with a list of things that will make you feel more connected to your husband. And if you want to, you could look at like some of the things that you wish your husband would do. Like, I wish my husband would call me during the day, or I wish my husband would text me during the day, or I wish he would bring me flowers once in a while, or something like that. And then what I would encourage you to do is to take that action yourself. I'm not suggesting you buy your husband flowers, but you could buy them for yourself. It would be a lovely way of showing love to yourself, and it will show your husband that you love flowers too. He might be like, oh gosh, where did you get the flowers from? And you just say, I bought them for myself. I love, because I love flowers. And that's just a way of, it's a way of loving yourself and then bringing more love into your home and sharing that with your husband. Maybe he doesn't know how much you love flowers, but if you bought them for yourself every once in a while, he would see that, and it might give him an idea for something in the future. Because if you start taking action like we're talking about, it is going to invite him into taking action to make your marriage more connected as well. So I want you to see the big difference here is not, the difference is that we don't sit our husband down and say, our marriage is broken, I don't feel connected to you, I want to feel more connected, you need to do more of this, this, and that, and we need to start this right away, or we need marriage counseling. If we have a conversation like that with our husband, we're going to completely shut them down. It makes them feel like a failure. It makes them very overwhelmed. They don't know how to respond to that. They probably really hate the idea of going to a marriage counselor, and they probably likely had no idea that you were feeling this unhappy, so it will be a really big surprise. So instead of doing that, what I'm suggesting is we follow the 3 steps that we've talked about today. First, decide how you want to feel in your marriage. Write it down. Look at it every day. Remind yourself every day. Then also every day, write down everything you're grateful for in your marriage that day. And finally, choose an action step that you will take today and then every day for the rest of the week at least, to maybe test it out and see if you can bring that feeling of connectedness or adventure, whatever it is that you're looking for. See if you can bring that to life, into reality. I would love to hear from you about how this goes, so please email me or contact me through my website. So that is the end of the formal part of our talk for today. I'm going to unmute the call in a moment so that you can ask your questions. But before we go, I want to remind you that I have a free marriage makeover guide on my website to help you fix challenges in your marriage. Just head on over to tinaheisman.com and download your copy for free. And also, I would love to see you in the Happy Wives community on Facebook, where we share positive inspiration about our marriage. It's a really lovely group of women over there. And of course, if you want some one-on-one help for your marriage, just someone to be your accountability partner and your cheerleader, I would love to work with you on that. So please visit my website or email me to learn more. Okay, thank you so much for joining me, and I will talk to you all next week.